Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bold and the beautiful early spoilers March 10 to 14. Hope flexes, Bill worries and Steffy torn. Bold and the beautiful spoilers show that Hope Logan, Annika Noel is flexing, Bill Spencer, Don Diamond is worrying, and Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Missinswood, is completely torn. As we always do on early edition day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, and then tell you what's coming next week. On Wednesday, March 5th, we have Hope blasting Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, for kissing Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and hurling threats at her. This is kind of an interesting sort of thing because Daphne kissed Carter. She has apparently fallen for him, judging on her dialogue to herself, and Carter seemed tempted. He did kiss her, but then he came clean to Hope. I don't think he was going to come clean to Hope, except that he picked up on her vibe of, "Oh, I know what you've been doing." He picked up what she was laying down, and so he did confess, and he's like, "Oh, I love you." The thing is, Daphne was ready to leave to go back to Paris, even though Zende Forrester Dominguez, Delon de Metz, came to her and said, "You were supposed to be here helping my family to get the business back. You can't leave." She's kind of brokenhearted. She's like, "I got to go." Then Hope comes at her, and Hope's going to come at her really hard. And I think that this ultimatum from Carter's girlfriend may provoke Daphne to change her plans, cancel that flight. She may go talk to Steffy, and she might weigh in on it as well. Then on Thursday, March 6th, we have Steffy and Finn, Tanner Novlin, talking, and she is just distraught over who his daughter is. Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, said, "Leave town, leave him, leave the house, at least come live with us." I think she wanted her farther away, and Steffy was sticking to the same thing she told Finn. "I took wedding vows. I love you. This is a lot, but I do love you." That's only because she thinks Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, is behind bars, and I'm sure Finn wants to tell her. He probably even comes home with the best intentions to tell her. But then they have a big showdown where he's like, "That's my daughter," and she's like, "Not your little girl. She's a killer, a stone-cold killer," which that's not the vibe that Luna's giving off now. Finn can tonally see how the bad childhood and the lack of opportunities, and all that, not that anything justifies double homicide. But on the soap, they're justifying it, obviously. Finn is going to keep it secret from Steffy that she is on house arrest and living large in 90,210 with that ankle monitor and lap of luxury, not locked behind steel bars where she cannot get out. That in itself is going to be a deal breaker because obviously Steffy's going to find out. But for now, Finn is gonna hide it, and Steffy will stay. When it all blows up, Taylor's probably going to drag her out of the house with the kids. Luna cannot wait to tell Bill who her real dad is when they start a conversation on Thursday. On Friday, March 7th, we have got Bill having a lot of anxiety and concern after this conversation with Luna because Finn was at his house. So he's probably expecting the doorbell to ring and it being town folk with pitchforks and torches coming for Luna, coming for him for helping her convert from prison to house arrest. That can't happen because Finn can't tell anybody, or else Steffy's going to leave him, so Bill's secret's safe, but he doesn't know that yet, and he's going to be very, very worried. I feel like we're going to have a conversation between those two men about Luna very soon. Speaking of out-of-control things, Hope decides she's going to make some changes at Forrester Creations. The only thing that Hope is actually empowered to change at FC is a hemline on a dress that Zen designed. She is not part of the executive team. She is not a CEO, COO, or anything. It's just kind of wild, and I think because she caught Carter kissing someone else, she probably thinks she can flex and get away with it, because I think she thinks Carter isn't going to stop her. Maybe she's very filled up with righteous indignation that they did the right thing by taking the company from its rightful owners. I know you guys hear me say that word a lot, but it's true. If Daphne decides to stay, I wouldn't be surprised if Hope went after her and tried to tell her, "You can't work in the office. You have to be elsewhere. Go back to Paris." She may make a move against Steffy. I mean, we'll see. She can't really end the fragrance line. That would be very embarrassing, but Hope is jealous. Hope is power-hungry. Hope is very concerned that Carter is backsliding and may give the company back. So she's trying to hang on to that power. And what she does, I think, is probably going to make things worse for herself. But she's happy right now. Going into the week of March 10th through the 14th, we've got Finn just worried sick and trying to balance things. He doesn't want his marriage to Steffy to fall apart. He's not going to stop seeing Luna. He's missed her whole lifetime as her dad, and when he went over there, he was expecting something worse than what he found. And what he found was his baby girl totally remorseful. He now sees that Poppy Nozawa Romy Park was the villain in his story, was the villain in her story. It's funny, they've made Hope and Poppy the villain in all this. Poppy's definitely a villain, though, but he's obviously blaming Poppy and not Luna, and he's just not going to ditch his daughter. I think he's going to check in with Bill, and they are going to have a conversation about how they're going to move forward, how they're going to try to protect this secret. Remy Price, Christian Weissman, is going to be a problem because I'm certain we're going to see him showing back up over at the house, and Luna is probably going to happily tell him, thinking he's just some person that she can trust, tell him that she found her real dad. Once Remy knows, then it's a very short path to Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, knowing, and the rest of Lay knowing as well. Finn is probably going to be back over there with Luna and hiding it from Steffy, which means he's going to have to lie about his whereabouts. Even though he feels terrible about confessing to Hope that he locked lips with Daphne, Carter is going to have to decide if he's going to write Hope a reality check and try and stop her from throwing her weight around. She's been doing it a lot. She's basically been kind of running executive meetings, sitting behind the desk, telling everybody that he's the best leader ever, kind of crapping on the Forresters. And he's been letting her get away with it, get away with it, get away with it. But if she has pulled some stunt where Daphne is a target of hers, then we're on the cusp of a deal breaker for him. Carter has a lot on his plate, and we're going to see Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, back on the scene trying to defend her daughter, but at the same time, she wants everything to blow up so the company will go back to Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, and Steffy. We're going to have more pressure from Taylor and Ridge next week piling up on Steffy to just walk away. I imagine that the Forresters may show up to see Poppy to really ream her a new one, and I wonder if one of them is going to tell Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda. Taylor might go directly to lie, doctor to doctor, and then everything's going to spiral.